Hello and welcome to Beckler Guitars and Repairs. Today we're going to be doing a repair video. So, I have two tellies at the moment, and I'm just trying to narrow them down to my favorite one. So this one is actually a copy of a Fender from an offshore website. Actually, I received this guitar in lieu of payment for a repair I did. So someone didn't have the money to pay me, so they just gave me this guitar. But I ended up really liking the way it played and sounded. It's got a really nice thick neck, and it's been relic, so I really like the way it looks too. Eventually I was going to get rid of the Fender logo, just so no one, if it does get sold or one day, that no one accidentally buys it thinking it's real. But I also put in a couple extra things. So I gave it a nice bone nut. I polished and leveled and crowned the frets so it plays really well. And I added compensated brass saddles to help with intonation. I also put some boutique custom pickups in here. So these are Dominger pickups. These are boutique pickups from a custom builder in the States, and I use his pickups quite a lot on my builds because they're great. But today I want to do a little bit of swapping. So this is my new Telecaster. It's kind of like I guess it's called a Barncaster, where they make it from really old wood. So this one has a top on it from an old barn door. And the back is 100-year-old pine, so it really does have great resonance, and it sounds awesome. It also has a maple neck. So this is a custom-built guitar from Roadhouse Guitars in the USA. It says Roadhouse USA Custom Shop, and yeah, I just really like the way this guitar looks. I think it would look great on stage. So everything is reliced and aged. There's the serial number and the signature of the builder. It's got Kluson tuners and medium jumbo frets, and it just looks great. The one thing I did change is I added these like gun knobs, kind of like a revolver magazine. And the one thing I don't really like about this one is the pickups. They're okay. They're ceramic pickups, and I prefer Alnico. So I do want to swap those. So what I want to do today is, and at the pickguard, the pickguard's cool. It's kind of this a metal pickguard, like anodized metal, and it's alright, but I found a really nice pickguard online that I want to swap it with, and I think that would fit the aesthetic of the guitar a little bit better. And I want to put these pickups, the Domingers, I want to take it out of this copy and put it into the Roadhouse, because I really love those pickups. So I want to take the best elements of both guitars and put it together for what I'm hoping will be my favorite telly that I can play on stage. The next thing I want to do is add a new pickguard, because as cool as this one is, I think I like this one I bought a little better. So this pickguard is a custom-made, custom-tooled leather pickguard that I bought off eBay. This is the seller here, Black Whiskey Blaze, on eBay, and he sells a bunch of these pickguards and does custom leather tooling for everything. So this is the pickguard I picked. So it's all leather and custom tooled. So just to get an idea of what it's going to look like with the pickguard, I think that kind of matches the aesthetic quite a bit better. So it's going to be quite a cool looking guitar. So a couple things we're going to have to do to make this work is, I'm noticing the screw pattern of both of the pickguards aren't quite the same. So once we remove this pickguard, we're going to have to fill the old holes and drill new ones for the new pickguard. I'm also noticing that this pickguard doesn't have the screw holes for the neck pickup like this pickguard does. So we're gonna have to drill new pickup holes through this pickguard to make sure that works properly. And then we'll probably have to do a little bit of messing around just to make sure everything fits perfectly. This is a little bit thicker than this pickguard too, so we still have to make sure that it fits underneath the neck, in the neck pocket. So there might be a little bit of custom alterations we're going to have to do to make this work. Then we're going to take out the pickups and swap them with this one. So that's fairly easy on Telecasters. You basically just have to remove everything, and it's just a couple wires that need soldering. So alright, to start off, we're going to go ahead and remove this pickguard. Okay, on this guitar, we've taken off all the screws. However, we can't get the pickguard off without taking off the neck because it rests underneath that the lip for the neck pocket. So let's take off the neck. Okay, we've got the neck off. So there's the neck pocket. It looks like there's a shim in there. The shim is like, oh no, it's not glued down. It's just loose, so we'll put that back in. It's got the build date, another signature, and then the pickguard just opens up here. So there it is. There's another signature and build date on the pickguard. We can see that this is a ceramic single coil, which is what I want to swap. And it looks like it's been routed for a humbucker too, so if you ever wanted to put a humbucker in there, that is a possibility. And we can see the walnut cap, the barn door, with the maple, or sorry, the pine underneath. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take off this, remove the pickup from the pickguard, and when we remove the pickup from the tailpiece as well. Okay, so I'm just going to take off the and we've taken off the screws for the bridge plate here, so we can see it's routed just for a tele bridge pickup, nothing else. And you can see the holes for the tailpiece and the ground wire sticking out there right here. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. So there it is, removed. So now let's just quickly fit the other pickguard on here just to see how it's gonna look. So that looks like it fits good there. There as well. So yeah, it looks like the spacing is all correct. See if I can get a better angle here. So yeah, it should fit around the control cavity fine, and it lines up fairly well with everything. Sometimes on custom builds things will look a little wonky with a normal sized pickguard because it's not exactly like Fender's, but this one looks like it's gonna work. The old screws from the last pickguard, I was planning on filling them. However, they're so dark in the wood that you can't really see them anyway, so I might just leave them. I could always fill them down the line. An easy way to fill them is just to use toothpicks or kebab skewers, and then you just dip them in glue, push them in the hole, break them off, snip them off, make sure they're flush, and then they'll be filled. And then once they're dry, you can just take a little bit of finish and the same color that you're using and just go over it. Sometimes I seal it with a little bit of sealer, and then you can't see them hardly anymore. But okay, then we're going to remove this pickup. Okay, so there's the bridge. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything special in terms of quality for this pickup. I'm not sure if these are custom wound or not, but from the builder, I would imagine not. They look pretty offshore in terms of quality. Okay, so now we can remove the pickups from the control cavity. So it looks like these are nice components. We've got a nice big orange drop capacitor, full-size pots, as well as a quality looking bar on the potentiometer heated up. So we'll just try again, but if there is any more issues, we can always just snip. There we go, they're starting to loosen. So there's one, there's two. Okay, so that's it for now. We can just remove both of these pickups. And I like to keep all the pieces together because we're going to have to install them in the other guitar, so we don't want to lose them. So over there for now. Now we can look at the other guitar. I'm going to place the components there. So for now, I'm just going to swap it with the other guitar, which I have ready here. So I've removed all of the screws already. This one, I believe I can get it off without having to take off the neck, but I might be wrong about that. Oh, there we go. So didn't have to remove the neck to get the pickup on that one. So I'm just going to remove these screws. So these are the Deminger pickers or pickups that I want to install on the other body. So make sure I keep the hardware for these pickups. So there's that there. This is the old pickguard. I'm just going to move it out of the way for now. And then remove the other pickup. Okay, so keep our spacers together. So there's the ground for the bridge plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing one. Or no, those are two. Okay. And then this is the wiring for this guitar. Same wire setup. Looks like, actually this one's wired a little bit. I think the Roadhouse is vintage Tele style. This is a little bit more modern. It's very similar though. So our soldering iron is still hot. Go ahead and remove the neck and the bridge pickups. One, it's pretty hot there, and two, as well as the grounds. Okay. Then we can remove our pickups. And yeah, these are the Dominger pickups. Golden Gate, USA made, hand wound rather. Okay, now I'm gonna get this body out of the way and switch it back to the other body. Okay, now we're gonna mount our pickups back where they need to go. So I think that these are the same screw width as my other ones. These are kind of a, so I might be able to just go ahead and slap it in there the same way. So yeah, that's the way it goes. Okay, so that's in there. Let's feed it back into the cavity. Alright, we're through there. Let's pull it tight and then just put this back so it's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put the screws back in place in the bridge. Okay, now so this is the bridge, so we're gonna go ahead and just solder this on quickly to where it needs to go, which should be right here. So there's that one. Okay. Now, next we're going to mount the new bridge pickup, or the neck pickup rather, to the leather pickguard. So it fits in there nice, but we do have to drill 2 new holes for the screws and the springs. So I'm just gonna use my awl here to poke a hole right about where it needs to be, and I just want to make sure that I'm going in straight here. So let's just get nice and close. Make sure that we're lined up properly. So right about there. And Okay. Yeah, right about there. Okay. So we've got our spots. I might even be able to use this instead of drilling because it's pretty soft. This might be an option. Yeah, we're already through. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to do that. Okay. Okay, so now let's put the springs and the through. Okay, so that looks all right. Maybe a tiny bit crooked, but hey, it's my guitar. I could have spent a little more time lining that up, but it really doesn't bother me. If I was doing repair for a customer, I would have been a little bit more careful doing that, I think. And we're through there. And we're going to pull that tight. Kind of get an idea where this pickguard's going to go. And let's just throw that pickup on there quickly. Solder it in. And maybe we'll just make another little pool of solder because it's a little tight in there. There we go. And we'll put our ground in. Okay. So before we do anything else, we can tuck all the wires in and just make sure that the pickups are working correctly. So I like to put just like one screw in just to secure it for the time being, and then test it. So where's the screw I've been looking for there? Right there. Just slowly put that in. Okay, so now let's just plug the body into an amp quickly and just check the pickups to make sure we did that correctly. So back pickup. So tone, volume works. Top pickup. Yeah, so we wired those correctly. It's good to check so you don't get too far. So now we can put in the other cavity plate screw. It's nice and flush. Okay, now we can spend some time really measuring where our pickguard's gonna go for the best fit. We want to make sure it's flush here at the neck pocket so it's not interfering with the neck at all. So if that's the case, we kind of have to make sure that we can move this. Let's just hold off on that for now. We can move this bridge cavity if needed to a little bit, or cavity plate rather. So there's a couple points you want to make sure that you're doing when you're lining up your pick guard. You want to make sure that it's not impeding the neck pocket at all, like I mentioned. And nice and flush all the way around. That's probably the most important part. The next part is you want to make sure it's even on the horn so it doesn't look weird. And then even around the bridge plate, and then even around the pickup cavity plate. So that looks pretty good all the way around. So the next thing we're going to do is screw that down. Okay, so there it is. Got a little bit more of a gap here than I wanted, but that's maybe just a little bit nitpicky. Everything else looks good. If I wanted to, I could always take a Dremel tool and open that up a little bit just to make it a little bit more even, but I mean, it's fine. I'm also gonna loosen these just a little bit so it prevents any kind of bulging of the leather. But yeah, that looks quite good to me. The next thing we're gonna do is put the neck back on. And I just want to make sure that this thicker piece of leather isn't going to interfere with. No, it looks like I'm all the way down there and it's fine. It's not interfering at all. So I'm just going to make sure my shim is back where it needs to be, because I was very happy with how it was playing before. So I don't want to alter anything else. Make sure that's sitting in there properly. Actually, let's have a look. I just noticed that, yeah, the leather is actually a tiny bit thicker than the old pickguard. So I think that removing the shim will be about the same as having the shim with the extra thickness of the pickguard. So I think it'll even out if I do it that way. So let's just put the neck back on. Okay, I'm just giving it a little extra tighten over here. Okay, so it's all back together now. And I think it looks quite cool. One thing I did want to replace is the tip. This is a Strat tip. I want to give it a Tele tip. So I'm going to find a tip and restring it. Okay, we have it all set up and ready to go. Just gonna check the setup here quick. Alright, yeah, plays great with no buzz anywhere. And let's just check the setup. So yeah, action is very low. Up near the nut, the strings are resting nicely against the first fret. I think we have just the amount of relief in the neck that we need. Yep, just a tiny bit of relief, which is great. And let's check the action at the 12th fret. So yeah, about 1 to 1.5 mils at the 12th. So just how you want it. Check the intonation, it's in tune. It's intonated properly as well. So let's plug in and check out these new pickups. Okay, we're plugged into the Diamond Del Fugo to a 212 cab. We've got the attenuator going. For pedals, I'm using a Holy Grail reverb and a Toro servo pedal as a boost. Just gonna turn down the amp a little bit so we get a little bit more clean. I'm on the bridge pickup. yeah, the pickups sound great. Plays really well now. Let's try it with a little bit of dirt. So this is the bridge pickup with overdrive. Okay, let's have a quick final look at this guitar, how it turned out with the new pickguard. I would say it looks pretty snazzy. Yeah, with maple neck, black dots. This is the Barncaster from Roadhouse Custom Guitars. And today we just swapped out the pickguard and the pickups with some Dominger custom wound pickups, and we tried it out. Let's have a quick look at the back. That's the 100-year-old pine body with the Clouson Deluxe tuners. There's the serial number. So yeah, I think that was definitely a good upgrade to the pickguard, and the pickups sound fantastic. So yeah, this is quite a striking looking guitar, ready for the stage, and plays and sounds as good as it looks. Okay, thank you for tuning in today's episode of Beckler Guitars and Repair. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.